If you were on the live stream last night, then you know that today we are having Boss Man's birthday party. He turns 11 next week, but his party is today. He has 4 of his friends here all day. They are staying overnight, slumber party, birthday party. Amanda is working today, so I am in charge. Well, at least that's what I like to believe. However, it's been a long day. Luckily, I was able to get out here this morning, and I had some smaller, shorter pieces of wood that I had been setting aside. When I take totes into the boiler, if there's something that's shorter, because I used to, throw just chunks and odd end cuts into my boiler wood pile, I would pull those shorter pieces out and set those aside because I have a need to split some sauna wood. So this morning, I split up some sauna wood with the timber ox, and then I also split some with the yappa. So I'm going to show you guys that footage right now, and then I'm going to come back, and I think I figured out what I'm going to do with the shelter that ripped apart. But I may need some input from you guys. So stick around for that. I'll show you what my thoughts are, and then we'll see what you think. know, I once read that one of the career paths that many kids nowadays want to pursue is being a YouTuber. Well, let me tell you, I gave these kids an opportunity to appear on this channel in this video stacking some firewood, and each one of them turned it down. Obviously, they have not been taught yet in school that lesson of when opportunity knocks, you answer the door. So I showed this in a video last week where it was windy one day, and I think what happened was a gust of wind came in the end here and pushed against this wall of the shelter, and on the top up there I had, you can see right there actually is a hole. There were a few holes that I had made from pushing snow off. So this, it was the integrity of the canvas or the tarp, whatever you want to call this, was compromised. It was not fully intact. So I think that's where it just started to rip, and right down the line it went, right down the seam. But I was going to see about getting a replacement canopy, a replacement cover. However, they no longer make them for this size. And what I mean by that is this shelter is 12 feet wide, 20 feet long, and 10 feet high. And the replacement covers that they make are for 12 by 20 by 8. So they no longer make the 12-foot high canopy covers. But what I noticed the other day when I was looking at this is this frame has a tube right here down to here. So I could take this bolt and this bolt out, and I believe I would be able to remove this tube. And guess what? The length of that tube, you got it, is 24 inches or right around 2 feet. So what I'm thinking I would be able to do is take each of those sections out of the frame, then drop this down to here, fasten it back together, and I'm thinking that would make this shelter then become a 12 by 20 by 8. Now, I have been thinking about adding back here another greenhouse possibly. So what I'm thinking about doing with this frame is lowering it down to make it 12 by 20 by 8, and then buying a greenhouse film cover. So like the clear plastic, or not really clear, totally clear, but like the plastic for greenhouses, and then put that over the top of this lowered frame and actually turn this into another greenhouse for storing the mini firewood. The only thing that I'm not sure how I'm going to, or how to do, or what to do, is with the ends. Because the ends right now have, so the main canopy, the one that ripped, goes over the top of these the end doors and the end panel. And then these are fastened down to the ground. And so this thing overlaps them. But if I just put plastic over top of that, I don't know how I would enclose the end. And I don't think I would be able to use this door or that back panel. I'm not sure. Maybe I would, but I just don't know what would be the best way to, I guess, fasten hold the plastic down. And I don't even know, maybe I don't need to hold the plastic down. Like if I go up and over the top and I anchor both sides of the greenhouse plastic on both sides, will that be enough to hold it down? I mean, either way, I'm going to have to do something with the ends, but I might be able to use that end canvas. I don't know. So that's where, if you guys have any suggestions or any feedback on how I would be able to enclose the ends, and if just, putting the plastic up and over the top, I mean, right now, that's all this canvas is it's just anchored on the bottom, all the way along the bottom, and then there's nothing like, you know, just like tension is holding it down on the top of the frame. But either way, I think that's gonna be my plan. I'm gonna take those tubes out, take those sections out, lower this down, and then turn this into another greenhouse, because I have a plan for the kinlet to move that. And the reason originally why I got this as tall as I did, the 10-foot high version of this shed in a box from ShelterLogic, because I was parking the tractor in here. And I just wanted it, you know, as high as I could, the highest I had for driving the tractor in, and now I have the carport that I used for the tractor. So this shelter has really only been used now for like the kinlet and storing things, some odds and ends. So I could easily still do that within the greenhouse if I turn this into a greenhouse, but that would also then give me added storage and added drying for the mini firewood, because this would make a nice mini firewood greenhouse. Oh, and the other thing is I checked with if ShelterLogic makes a greenhouse cover like that to go over that frame, and they do, but it's all sold out, of course. Maybe that'll come back in stock. I'll have to wait and see, because that fabric, that one is nice. All right, so I got to get back to the party. I had put myself in a little bit of a timeout to come back here in the wood yard and just take a little break. But now we're getting close to time to have the cake and blow out the candles. As soon as Amanda gets home, that'll be the plans.